Hey guys, it's Neat2 Up here, and welcome to the first episode of Black Dude Reviews, a show hosted by a black dude who wants to share his opinions with the world while also sharing his faith in the world in a very subtle way. Now I don't know about you, but the one video game franchise that I attribute my becoming a gamer to is Mega Man, and Pop Tropica. But Mega Man mainly. I still remember those days when we were locked inside our homes and I was grinding out Mega Man games left and right. The first Mega Man game I've ever actually beaten is Mega Man 2. Then I beat 7, then I beat 1. Today, we're going to be reviewing Mega Man 1. I decided to revisit the Mega Man games as I haven't played them in months. Because of that, I'm now very rusty when it comes to playing these games, so do forgive me if my gameplay is very trashy. So, what does this game put on the table? A very unique game designed for the 80s, that's what. Unlike most video games back then where they had you go through a number of stages in a predetermined order, Mega Man lets you choose the order in which you want to beat the stages. You select a stage and then the game randomly chooses a score for beating the stage, which I personally do not think is a good way to design your scoring system, but that's just me. Mega Man can jump and shoot. At the end of the stage, you fight the boss of the stage shown on the stage select. When you defeat the boss, you steal their special weapon or ability. Some bosses are harder than others, and some stages are harder than others too. But if you're playing the game for the first time, you have no clue which stages are hard or easy. So Mega Man, just like a lot of games in the 80s, requires a lot of trial and error in order to get through the game. That and also experimentation, specifically with the weapons, because some parts of the game are impossible to pass without the use of a special weapon. Also, it's worthy to note that every boss has a certain weapon that they're weak to, like Cutman being weak to Super Arm, Gutsman's weapon, and Bombman being weak to Firestorm, Fireman's weapon. In Elecman stage, there's the Magnet Beam, which you can only get by using either Super Arm or Thunder Beam, the latter requiring you to take 2 trips to this stage. But if you defeated Gutsman before going to this stage, you don't need to visit this stage again. Once you've defeated all the bosses, you get to go after Dr. Wily, who has 4 stages you need to get through before facing the Doctor himself. An interesting thing about his first stage is that you absolutely need to use Magnet Beam in order to get through the stage. If you don't have it, you need to get a game over so that you can visit Elecman stage and get the Magnet Beam there. Would you call that good video game design? I don't know, you tell me. Pressing the select button pauses the game. Many people like to abuse this function because when you press the button again to unpause the game, all iframes are reset, so you can gain multiple hits on a boss at once so long as you have at least one instance of the weapon on screen, and so long as the weapon is in contact with the boss's hitbox. People especially like to use this trick against the Yellow Devil, who's considered to be one of the hardest bosses in the game. The way this game does its boss rush is kind of unique. In the second Wily stage, you refight Cutman and Elecman, and then you fight the rest of the bosses in the 4th and last Wily stage. In the penultimate Wily stage, one instance of the boss goes down with one use of Super Arm, but I would not recommend using it before killing at least 3 of them. In the last Wily stage, we go through a short stage, then fight the 4 remaining bosses that I mentioned earlier, then fight Wily himself in his machine. And once we beat him, we beat the game. This game is a pretty well thought out game. Does this game still hold up to today? I wouldn't say so. For starters, I feel like the designs of the backgrounds are way too simple. It's not that big of a deal, but they're not very memorable. And while I do understand that this game was made back in a time where video game systems weren't all that powerful, I still don't think they aged that well. But just because the backgrounds aren't very memorable doesn't mean that the game isn't very memorable. This game is memorable for good reasons and bad reasons. The cover art for this game has already been trashed on many times over, but it's a big reason why this game didn't sell very well, but let's move past that. What else do I not like about this game? The difficulty. I know that this game was made in an era of video games where they were super difficult so that they could milk out playtime from you because the games were so short, but I feel like a lot of boss fights are very unfair if you have a special weapon or you don't. I find the main offenders here to be Elecman and Iceman, who are super difficult to beat with just the Buster because their attacks take off 1/3 of your health, but with the right Robot Master weapon, they're a walk in the park. I mean, their weaknesses take off 1/3 of their health too, so I suppose the fights are made more fair with their weaknesses, but I feel like there could be a bit more balance here. Also, if you're wondering what I think about the Yellow Devil, Just memorize his pattern and take short hops over his blocks. It's a hard fight, but again, this game does rely heavily on trial and error. And the reason why you're seeing footage of me using the pause trick against him is for the sake of demonstrating the glitch for y'all. You're welcome. Now, what do I like about this game? Well, one thing I like is the music. The music in this game is fire. The tunes are very memorable, and hot take, Fireman's theme is a bop. It's easily one of my favorites from this game. The other Robot Master themes are pretty good too, like Cutman's theme, Gutsman's theme, and Bombman's theme. Another thing I like about this game is the weapons. Don't get me wrong, not all the weapons are good, but the ones that are quite literally game-breaking, especially Thunder Beam. But we've got Ice Slasher that can freeze enemies in place, Firestorm which not only shoots out fire, but it makes a mini shield around you, and Rolling Cutter which can take out these spiked enemies. But Super Arm, you can only use it if there's a block nearby that you can pick up, and the less I say about the Hyper Bomb, the better. So with all the stuff that this game has to offer, does it have a story? Yes, the game does have a story, but you will only know the story if you look in the game's manual. Basically, Dr. Wright, a good-hearted doctor, made all these robots, and Dr. Wily, an evil doctor, stole all those robots and reprogrammed them to do his bidding. Dr. Wright then sent Mega Man to go stop those robots and Dr. Wily. After doing exactly that and nothing more, not locking him up or anything, Mega Man runs home and is happy to see Dr. Wright and Roll, his sister. Yeah, the story is very simple, but at that time of video games, attention was drawn more to the gameplay and not the story. Overall, Mega Man is a very good game for that time. The game design, bosses, and music all contribute to this game being as memorable as it is. While the difficulty may be off the rails at certain points in the game, it's not hard to the point of it not being fun. This game is both fun and hard. If you're about my age and you're not a very patient person, then I wouldn't recommend this game to you. But if you are a very patient person and you love experimentation and learning from your mistakes, this game is awesome for you. Just a tip, if you're starting this game, go to either Gutsman or Bombman first. And with that, I give Mega Man for the NES a 4-star rating. Wow, for a first video, that really was something. Next time we will take on Mega Man 2 for the NES, so if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. While you're at it, leave a like or leave a dislike, and thanks for watching.